Okay, man, I'm going to tell you a double-edged joke I was inspired to write. Sometime after visiting, I think it was Alex Jones, down in his Texas bunker. Are you ready, my nigga? Okay. So, a Holocaust survivor eventually dies of old age and goes to heaven. He meets God, and he eventually tells God a Holocaust joke. This old Jewish guy says, God, let me set the scene for you. It's Auschwitz, 1944. Amidst the bleakness of Christmas Eve in 1944, a frigid wind swept through the desolate concentration camp. The sky was an oppressive gray color, as if even the heavens mourned for the souls confined within the barbed wire fences. As if the once beautiful white clouds had been stained by ashy smoke, within the confines of one particular barracks, a dim light flickered. It was metaphorical of a small beacon of hope in the midst of absolute and utter despair. Among the Jewish prisoners, a sense of unity prevailed despite the hardships they were facing. Their spirits remained unbroken as they whispered stories of home and family, of traditions and celebrations that felt worlds away. Among them, towards the back of the room, was young Daniel, whose bright eyes and compassionate heart seemed to defy the darkness around him. As the day had passed, a hush fell over the barracks. Daniel's fellow inmates began to share memories of the holidays they once celebrated. The flickering light through the barred windows cast shadows on their emaciated faces. Their voices resonated with an undeniable strength. They recounted tales of festive feasts, laughter, filled gatherings, and the warmth of loved ones gathered around. In the corner of the barracks, an elderly man named Eli spoke up, his voice quivering with emotion. He spoke of a Hanukkah from his childhood, where his family had lit the menorah with the same hope that now burned in their hearts. Even in the darkest times, he said, we must find the light within ourselves to keep our faith alive. They whispered prayers passed down through generations, their voices blending in a harmony that transcended their surroundings. As the stars emerged in the night sky, the small barracks transformed into a sanctuary of sorts. The soft glow of the makeshift menorah cast a warm golden light that contrasted the cold gray world outside. The prisoners held hands and sang songs, melodies that soared high above the barbed wire and touched the hearts of all who heard. In that fleeting moment, the walls of the concentration camp seemed to fade away. The prisoners found solace in each other's company, drawing strength from their shared heritage and the power of their collective spirit. The makeshift menorah burned as a symbol of resistance against the darkness that threatened to engulf them. Suddenly, the door to their enslavement camp bursts open, and Herr Muller, the leader of the Nazi guards, is standing there. His voice was rigid and calculated, yet there was an unexpected hint of something unfamiliar, a hint of hesitation. He cleared his throat, his eyes briefly darting to the faces of the prisoners. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice trembling almost imperceptibly, "we are well aware of the hardships you have endured. We recognize the depths of suffering that have been forced upon you." A murmur of disbelief swept through the crowd. The prisoners exchanged bewildered glances, struggling to comprehend the change in tone. Muller pressed on, his gaze locked onto a middle-aged man named Eli as he continued, "We wish to extend a promise that goes against the orders we have been given." His words hung in the air, heavy with tension. "We offer you a chance for freedom, a chance to be released from these chains that bind you." He looks at the Jewish prisoners and says, "You see, I am full of the joys of Christmas, so you may go. Be free, you money-lending, penny-pinching, chimney dusters." The prisoners are shocked, but without thought, they all start standing up, ready to walk out as free men. But just then, From the back of the room, the voice of young Daniel booms across the building as he screams, "But Herr Muller, we Jews don't celebrate Christmas." With a look of shock and horror on his face as he hears this Holocaust joke, God says, That's not funny at all. Dude, you're Jewish yourself. What is wrong with you?" To which, after some seconds have passed, our Jewish brother finally faces God and stares deeply into his eyes as he replies, "Oh, well, I guess you had to be there. Hey, you. Yeah, you listening to this video. Like and subscribe right now. Otherwise, I'm opening up a Pimps R Us store and I'm going to put your girl in the front window."